Perhaps the greatest golf ever played was in 1973 at Oakmont in the U.S. Open, where Johnny Miller sat in 12th place going into the final round after a third round 76. But on Sunday, Miller made a charge for the ages. He hit all 18 greens, including hitting the ball inside 10 feet 10 times. He ended up making 9 birdies and only 1 bogey, which of course was on the 244-yard 8th hole, which is a par 3. That would be like a 300-yard par 3 with today's equipment. His 63 was the lowest ever in a major championship and stood until 2016. Now, many believe this was the greatest round of golf ever played, and it was the highlight of a 3-year period for Miller that was arguably the greatest period of ball striking in history. Now, I think there's some really great coaching points in Miller's swing that will help the average golfer hit the ball better and lower their scores. So stay tuned. So one thing you'll notice about Johnny Miller is how many times he will waggle and check the target. This served to keep him in motion so that he would never get stiff and tense. This is a great lesson for the average golfer out there. When Miller got over the ball, he stayed externally focused. All he could see was the flag and the green. There were no biomechanical thoughts in his head. Everything had been taken care of on the range. And I think that is a great lesson for most average golfers as they try to carry the lessons or the drills they were working on the range out to the course. And they end up standing over the ball way too long, running through an alphabetical list of key points that they should be making on the swing. And that just simply doesn't work at game speed on the golf course. Now, while we don't have to waggle and check the target as many times as Johnny Miller, we definitely should settle into the shot, waggle and pull the trigger within 1 second. This will keep us from getting stiff, tense, and overanalyzing. Now, here's a great shot of Johnny Miller in his backswing. I want you to notice this tilted hip position. Notice how his right hip has reached a high position, higher than the tilted left. This is due to the split knee position. You can see the left knee is flexed and the right knee has extended. He's got a little bit of a spine tilt as well, and that is causing the right hip to really post up high. Now, this hip position combined with unweighting the left heel at the top of the backswing set Miller up for an ideal use of ground forces. And it kind of goes in this order. So on the backswing, you would try to get tall like he's showing here. He can now allow the pelvis or the hips to swing almost in an arc from high to low and high again. At the top of the swing, he's gotten tall. As he starts the downswing, he's going to do what I call getting heavy. He's going to step down onto the left heel, flex both knees, almost like he's trying to make an analog scale spin around past 300 to almost double his body weight. So he's getting heavy with the earth here. That gets him to about halfway down. Then right before he strikes the ball, he's going to get tall again. He's going to push up out of that heavy position. He's going to post the left hip, straighten the left knee, flex the right knee. And so it's kind of a reversal of everything that he did in the backswing. So it's using the ground by getting tall, then getting heavy, and then getting tall again on the left leg or the lead leg. Now, using the ground like this really causes your torso to rotate, makes your hands fast, and allows the path of the handle really leverage the club head and get it whipping around the arc. Now, one more coaching point. Just like a lot of the other great golfers in history, there's no hold on in Miller's swing. Man, you really whipped the hands through with reckless abandon. Very free, very soft grip pressure, no holding back. He really just ripped through every shot. Now, going through the ball with that kind of freedom and green light is kind of the opposite of what most average golfers do, where they kind of tend to squeeze, try to control, slow the club down. Miller's not doing any of this at all. He's freely accelerating the club. Now, Johnny Miller's stellar ball striking continued into the 1974 season, where he won 8 times was the leading money winner, supplanting Jack Nicklaus, which is no easy feat. Probably was the #1 golfer in the world at that point. In 1975, he won the Phoenix Open by 14 shots, shooting a 61 in the process. Same thing at the Tucson Open, winning by 9 shots, also carding another 61 that week. Regarding that win, Miller said, "I don't think I hit a ball more than 2 feet offline the entire tournament." Jack Nicklaus once called Miller the greatest short iron player of all time, and Fred Couples just flat out called Miller the greatest ball striker of all time. So certainly it makes Johnny Miller's swing a great model to study and potentially emulate. And hopefully by recreating some of these coaching points I've discussed in this video and bringing them into your swing, you can also teach yourself how to be a much better ball striker too and get lower scores. Hey, I'm Steve. Thanks so much for watching, and as usual, I'll either see you in the next video or I'll see you longer and straighter down the fairway. Everybody take good care.